Have you ever wondered what happens when you push your body to its limits? When sleep deprivation blurs the line between reality and hallucination? Tonight's story takes us deep into the eerie halls of a hospital in northwest Alabama, where one pharmacy technician's late-night shift turned into a nightmare. If you're new here, welcome to Ghoul's Archive. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more spine-chilling tales. And if you're ready for tonight's terrifying journey, let's dive in. For anyone who has worked night shifts, you know how the hours between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m. can feel, as if time itself has slowed and the world outside is frozen. That's exactly how it felt for Nathan, a young pharmacy technician working his usual graveyard shift at a hospital in northwest Alabama. The dimly lit hallways stretched endlessly, and the only sounds were the occasional beeps from machines or the distant murmur of nurses. On this particular night, exhaustion weighed heavily on Nathan. He'd been working back-to-back shifts, and the lack of sleep made everything feel off. As Nathan wheeled his medication cart through the silent corridors, something caught his eye. The door to one of the surgery rooms, a heavy wooden door, was ajar. He distinctly remembered seeing it closed earlier. Curious but cautious, he approached. The creak of the door echoed in the empty hallway as he nudged it open. Inside, the room was dark, save for the faint glow of equipment monitors. Nathan froze. In the corner, hunched over the sharp spin, was a figure. A man, perhaps? He couldn't tell. The figure's movements were jerky and unnatural. "Hey, you're not supposed to be in here," Nathan called out, his voice trembling slightly. The figure didn't respond. Summoning his courage, Nathan flipped the light switch. Instantly, the room flooded with brightness, but there was no one there. The sharp spin was untouched. He stood there, heart racing, as a cold chill ran down his spine. Was it his mind playing tricks on him, or was something else at play? Trying to shake off the eerie encounter, Nathan continued with his rounds. His next stop was the 5th floor, a wing under renovation and mostly unoccupied. As he stepped off the elevator, the air felt colder, heavier. The long, silent hallway stretched out before him, and the hum of the hospital's fluorescent lights seemed louder than usual. Room 5112. That was his destination. It was one of the only rooms still in use on this floor. He pushed his cart to the door and knocked lightly before stepping in. What he saw made his blood run cold. On the hospital bed lay an old man, his body convulsing violently. Blood streamed from his eyes, nose, and mouth, staining the white sheets beneath him. The man's head snapped toward Nathan, and their eyes locked. The old man's gaze was hollow, lifeless, and yet filled with a silent scream. Nathan's instincts kicked in. He turned and bolted down the hallway, shouting for help. But when he returned with a nurse, the room was empty. No patient, no blood. The bed was perfectly made, as if no one had been there at all. "Are you sure you're not imagining things?" the nurse asked, her tone skeptical but concerned. Nathan could only nod, his mind racing. Had he imagined it? Or had he just witnessed something that defied explanation? Shaken, Nathan decided to wrap up his rounds as quickly as possible. He couldn't shake the image of the old man or the unsettling emptiness of the 5th floor. As he stepped into the elevator, he hit the button for the 1st floor and leaned back, trying to catch his breath. The doors began to close. But just before they did, a hand shot through the gap, forcing them open. An elderly man in a faded security uniform stepped in. His face looked oddly familiar, but Nathan couldn't place it. "Rough night?" the man asked, his voice raspy but kind. Nathan nodded, offering a weak smile. The man didn't say anything else. They rode the rest of the way in silence. When the elevator reached the first floor, Nathan stepped out and turned to thank the man. But the elevator was empty. The old man was gone. Heart pounding, Nathan rushed out to the parking lot. As he approached his car, he glanced back at the hospital. His eyes were drawn to the 5th floor. There, standing in the window of room 5512, was the old man. He was staring directly at Nathan, his hollow eyes gleaming in the moonlight. Nathan didn't wait to see what happened next. He jumped into his car and sped away, vowing never to take another night shift again. And that is the chilling tale of the sleepless technician. Was it just the effects of sleep deprivation? Or was something far more sinister haunting those hospital halls? Let me know what you think in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this story, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more horrifying tales from Ghoul's Archive. Until next time, stay safe or stay awake.